At 82 years old, Robert Chen, a retired mechanical engineer who spent his life building bridges, found himself unable to do the one thing that mattered most. He couldn't lift his 4-year-old granddaughter. His doctors told him it was just normal aging. They said his trembling legs were inevitable, but they were wrong. What Robert didn't know, and what less than 2% of seniors are ever told, is that after age 60, your body develops a silent barrier called anabolic resistance. It's like the volume knob on your muscle-building signal gets turned down to 0. You can eat all the steak and eggs you want, but your muscles literally cannot hear the signal to grow unless you eat the specific foods that are loud enough to break through. Robert discovered a protocol of 6 specific foods that act like a megaphone to your cells. In 90 days, he didn't just stop the decline, he reversed it. His strength tests now match a healthy 60-year-old. And the best part? The most powerful food on this list works while you sleep, and you can buy it for less than $2. I'm Dr. Samuel Hartley. Today we aren't just talking about nutrition. We are going to turn the volume back up on your body's ability to rebuild. Let's get to work. Before we open the pantry, I need to ask you something personal. Have you ever felt like your body is ignoring you? You eat healthy, you try to stay active, maybe you even lift a weight now and then, but you still feel that subtle, creeping weakness in your legs when you stand up. I want you to know something, and I need you to really hear me. It is not your fault. You haven't failed. Your biology just changed the rules without telling you. You see, in our 30s and 40s, our muscles are like eager listeners. We eat protein, and our body immediately shouts, "Build." But research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reveals that after age 60, a phenomenon called anabolic resistance sets in. Think of it like a construction site where the workers have put on noise-canceling headphones. You can send in all the materials, the eggs, the chicken, the steak, but the workers can't hear the foreman shouting, "Get to work." So, the materials just sit there and the building slowly crumbles. The statistics are sobering. The average senior loses about 8% of their muscle mass every single decade after 40. By the time we hit 70, simple things, like opening a jar or walking to the mailbox, start to feel like a workout. But here is the good news. We don't need to fire the workers. We just need to grab a megaphone. There are specific foods that are biologically loud enough to break through those noise-canceling headphones and wake your muscles up. And the first one on our list is the exact tool Robert used to rebuild his strength while he was fast asleep. Most people get this wrong. They think muscle is built in the gym, but the real magic happens in bed. It's the biological window most seniors completely miss. We tend to focus on breakfast or dinner, but for the 8 hours you were asleep, your muscles are starving. In fact, after age 60, nighttime is often when we lose the most ground. Your body runs out of fuel around 2 a.m., and to keep your vital organs running, it starts breaking down your own muscle tissue for energy. You quite literally wake up weaker than when you went to bed. This is where Robert Chen made his biggest breakthrough. He didn't take a pill. He went to his refrigerator and ate half a cup of cottage cheese. Now, I know what you're thinking. Cottage cheese? That's 1970s diet food. But listen to the science. Unlike steak or eggs, which digest quickly, cottage cheese is packed with a specific protein called casein. Think of a whey protein shake or a piece of chicken like throwing paper on a fire. It burns hot and fast, and then it's gone. But casein is like putting a large, slow-burning oak log on the fire. It breaks down incredibly slowly, releasing a steady drip of amino acids into your bloodstream for 6 to 8 hours while you dream. Dr. Lisa Martinez from the University of Texas put this to the test. She followed 150 seniors for 6 months. The group that ate a small bowl of cottage cheese before bed gained an average of 2.3 pounds of lean muscle mass without even changing their exercise routine. The group that didn't, they lost over a pound of muscle. That is a 3-pound difference just from a bedtime snack. So, here's the protocol I recommend to my patients. About 30 minutes before you sleep, have half a cup. If you want to boost the effect, add a sprinkle of cinnamon to help stabilize your blood sugar. You might find, like Robert did, that the morning stiffness you've accepted as normal starts to fade within the first week. But while the night is for repair, the morning is for ignition. And there is one spark plug food that works in a completely different way, and most seniors are throwing the best part of it in the trash. If cottage cheese is the heavy log that burns all night, then whey protein is the gasoline that starts the fire in the morning. I mentioned anabolic resistance earlier, that deafness our muscles develop. Well, research published in the Journal of Nutrition identified one specific amino acid called leucine that acts like a hearing aid for your cells. It flips a biological switch called mTOR, essentially the on button for growth. Most seniors just have toast and coffee for breakfast, which gives zero signal to that switch. But Patricia Walsh, a 68-year-old retired nurse from Boston, changed one thing. She had 25 grams of whey protein isolate mixed into water right after her morning walk. Within 8 weeks, she was carrying laundry up the stairs without stopping. She simply gave her body the spark it was waiting for. But strength is useless if you are too stiff to use it. That brings us to the oil for your rusty hinges. We often think joint pain is just wear and tear, but often it's inflammation. That's where hemp seeds come in. Now, don't worry. These are legal, safe, and found in the baking aisle. They are rich in a rare fatty acid called GLA, or gamma-linolenic acid. Think of GLA as a natural fire extinguisher for inflammation in your joints. Frank Rodriguez, a carpenter from San Antonio, couldn't grip his hammer at 69 due to arthritis. He started sprinkling 2 tablespoons of these seeds on his oatmeal. By week 6, the fire in his hands had cooled down enough for him to get back to work. So, we have the spark for your muscles and the oil for your joints. But what about the fuel to keep you going past noon? This is where most of us crash. We hit that 2 p.m. slump where we need a nap. But Margaret, a 74-year-old teacher, discovered the budget builder that costs less than $1. Lentils. They aren't glamorous, but for seniors, they are critical. They are packed with folate, which helps your body make fresh red blood cells. Without enough folate, you feel weak and breathless because your blood literally can't carry enough oxygen. Margaret started eating a simple lentil soup for lunch. 3 weeks later, she was carrying groceries in one trip, bypassing the nap entirely. But there is a catch with lentils. If you eat them alone, they are incomplete. They are missing pieces of the puzzle. To unlock their full power, you must combine them with one specific grain, or you might as well be eating cardboard. And shockingly, the final piece of this puzzle isn't about what you eat. It's about the invisible engine that processes it all. Here is the rule that changes everything. Lentils are team players, not solo artists. By themselves, lentils are missing an essential amino acid called methionine. Without it, your body struggles to use that protein to rebuild tissue. It's like trying to build a brick wall without mortar. But the moment you pair lentils with brown rice or whole grain bread, the chemistry changes instantly. They lock together to form a complete protein that rivals meat. But there is one final system we have to protect. You can eat the best protein in the world, but if your engine, your digestion, is broken, none of it matters. That brings us to the black bean. I call this the stabilizer. After 60, many of us deal with energy crashes. You eat lunch, and an hour later, you need a nap. That's a blood sugar spike. Carlos, a 71-year-old patient of mine, struggled with this daily until he swapped his white rice for black beans. Why? Because they are rich in resistant starch and magnesium. The starch keeps your blood sugar steady so you don't crash, and the magnesium calms your nervous system. But more importantly, black beans feed the good bacteria in your gut, and new research suggests a strong gut-muscle axis, meaning A healthy gut actually helps you hold on to muscle mass longer. So we have the nighttime repair, cottage cheese, the morning spark, whey, the joint lubricator, hemp, the oxygen carrier, lentils, and the stabilizer, black beans. Now you have a choice. You can try to change everything at once, get overwhelmed, and quit by Tuesday. Or you can do what Robert did. Pick one. Maybe tonight you just try the cottage cheese. Maybe tomorrow you just add hemp seeds to your oatmeal. Because this isn't about trying to look like a 20-year-old bodybuilder. It's about having the strength to carry your groceries. It's about the confidence to walk down the stairs without holding the rail. It's about making sure that when your grandchild runs into your arms, you are strong enough to lift them up. Age is inevitable, but decline, that is optional. I'm Dr. Samuel Hartley. If you found value in this, I'd be honored if you subscribe to our community. Tell me in the comments, which of these foods are you trying first? I read every single one. Here's to your strength.